But let's start with some NBA, Ephraim, and you are a Lakers fan.
Yeah, I am, of course.
Yes.
Well, I mean, aren't you?
So I guess you're excited about the Anthony Davis 3-year, $186 million extension. Your thoughts?
Well, when you look at it, it's like, man, that's $62 million a year, and you're like, wow, that's a lot for someone who, when healthy, and is motivated, is top 5 player in the league. It's not even a question. It's not even a question.
That's a question.
If
he's great, don't get me wrong, but
so
top 5 is a question.
Top 5 when Anthony Davis is 28 and 12.
Jokic.
3. Yeah, okay. So I'm saying top 5. I didn't say that. Yeah, okay. Keep going. Go ahead.
I still would probably go Luka.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think I'd go
Luka. That's 3.
Steph.
Okay. 4.
Embiid is arguable.
No, we could. We started.
That's arguable.
We just fell off right there.
That's
arguable. That's
arguable.
Like I was saying, when Anthony Davis is healthy and motivated, he plays both sides of the court. Not very many players do that anymore in the NBA. That's not like when we grew up watching the league. In order to be great, you had to do that. You had to be able to stop somebody and go get a bucket on somebody.
Yes.
Anthony Davis does that.
He's a better defender. Now, he's a very good offensive player, too, but
anytime you can give somebody 26 and 12 with 3 blocks a game, I mean, you're talking about what Shaq did. You're talking about what the greats were able to do.
You bringing up the greats. So let me ask you this. Because this will keep Anthony Davis with the Lakers for the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's it.
Because he's got 2 years, still left on his current deal, and then the 3-year extension on top of that. So when LeBron is gone, it's going to be AD's team, which is great. Do you think, since you've mentioned Shaq and the other greats, Kareem, Wilt, those are the Lakers' great big men. Do you think Anthony Davis can, put himself in that class over these next 5 years with the Lakers?
In order to do that, he has to win championships. He has to win championships, and he has to play, right? He has to be able to play more than 60 games a year. I mean, we would love to get 60 games. Oh, my goodness gracious. But he has to stay healthy. He has to understand if he's going to take on that role. Like if LeBron isn't there, there's no more deferring. When LeBron is gone,
deferring now.
And LeBron would prefer it that way, but that's not Anthony's character. That's not what AD has brought to the table. He hasn't been that player since he's been with the Lakers, and I don't know. I don't even know if he was that guy in New Orleans. I know. He put up huge numbers when he was in New Orleans and took them to the playoffs. They got beat in the first round. But in terms of being that guy, when you start to ask, can AD climb that podium and be on that pedestal with the likes of Shaq and Kareem and all those guys, there was no question that they were the dominant player. Everything went through them. There was sometimes Shaq was on the court, especially when he was with the Lakers.
Even with Kobe,
it runs through me. Look at Kareem with Magic, right? It runs through me. You can have all the
when Kareem 1988. So I think he was 40.
Yeah.
When you remember it well as a Laker fan, they're facing the Pistons, and they need a bucket. I think it was Game 6. Who they go to? They went to Kareem at that age, right?
Old automatic.
Yeah.
Right?
He got fouled. Some say it was a phantom foul, whatever. He got fouled by Bill Laimbeer. He went to the free throw line. I know that.
First of all, when you say foul and Bill Laimbeer, you could take phantom out of that. All right? Bill Laimbeer chip for those younger listeners, Bill Laimbeer will chip your tooth almost every play. His job was to come in there and give up those fouls. Back then it was 6 fouls. 5 fouls. But absolutely. Look, if AD wants to be, and it's all about if he wants to be considered a great, right? Well, he's made a bunch of money. He's made a bunch of money. He's got a lot of money. A lot of money coming.
he is great. He is an all-time, he will be a Hall of Famer. He's made the top 75 team. I thought that was premature. But, I thought, every 25 years they're going to add 25 more players. Mm-hmm. He would have been in that group. But he's not, and this is no shame, and I think you'll agree, he's not Kareem or Shaq.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
no.
He can get his jersey retired, especially if he delivers another ring.
He probably
another ring. Will. He
yeah.
might anyway, just because he's going to be a Hall of Famer and he's got the one ring already with the Lakers. But another one I think he will probably get it retired years down the line. But another one would make it an absolute, no-brainer.
And it's about how, right? It's about how you're winning and how you're perceived. If you're perceived as someone who's oft injured, someone who misses large gaps of a season, it's very difficult to cross that pinnacle of great, no matter how talented your skills are when you're healthy and when you're on the court. Longevity is something that I think greatness personifies, right?
Yeah.
To be able to be called on when all else has failed, to be there, be available, and to play at that high level. I think now we get so caught up in these numbers and the flash and all of that we really take out the one true essence of greatness, and that's availability.
Well, agreed. How do you feel? Obviously, when LeBron's there next year, they're going to be tough. And we'll get a little bit later, you and I will get into this talk about them going with Jackson Hayes at center and AD at the power forward. We can talk about that in a few. But when LeBron is gone, I like this, obviously. I mean, AD is a great player. If you let AD go, if you didn't re-sign him and he leaves as a free agent or you traded him, guess what you'd be looking for? Another AD.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a smart move. And I think, Ephraim, when LeBron's gone, the Lakers, this goes without saying, are a destination franchise if there ever was one. So if you already have a great player, particularly a great big, because there's very few of those nowadays, and you're probably going to be looking for a great perimeter player. If I'm a great perimeter player and I can be on the move, or I want to be on the move, and I see Anthony Davis, who is an awesome defender, I'm looking at the Lakers, right? I don't have to go there and it's all on me, but I go there and he is a great player who will defer or will play nice with a second star. And so for that reason alone, I mean, it's a smart move. But obviously he brings his own stuff to the table and he's a great player. So this is a win for the Lakers. I wasn't sure if AD would want to do it. Would he want to keep his freedom? But again, it's LA. He's won a championship here. There's no reason to leave.
Well, let me tell you, when you talk about freedom and wanting to go somewhere else and look, when they start rolling the numbers out, right? When you sit in there and you're with Maverick and y'all sitting in there and you looking at Clutch Sports and you're like,
yes,
or Rich Paul, everybody's sitting there looking at the numbers and they unfold that sheet of paper and they're like, hey man, we can get you, I don't know, 189 for 3 years, and then you do the math and you be like, one carry to 10 and you divide it by 7, but if you put the 1 over there, oh, so that's $62 million a year. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, what freedom are you looking for?
No, none.
That is called financial freedom.
None.
In Los Angeles.
I mean, he has it already.
Right, it's
with all
there.
the money he's already made.
But 3 years, $62 million a year. Man, brother, you ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Where you going, to Milwaukee?